A lot of people who are new in voiceover wonder how to create their first studio to record in. And there's a lot of different options, everything from buying a professional studio, off the internet and have it delivered to your house and set it up. There's the blanket booth, which we've talked about on here before. But what I want to focus on today is building a studio in your closet. Most people have a closet, whether it's a spare closet or their actual closet with their clothes. What we're going to talk about today is how to turn that closet, whichever kind you're going to use, into a usable recording studio for you to get your voiceovers done. Welcome back to the Voiceover Blueprint YouTube channel. My name is Mike Hathcote, and I run the Voiceover Blueprint training program and the YouTube channel here, where our goal is to give you free insight and information about how to grow and maintain a profitable voice acting business. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, I host a free webinar on Zoom where you can come and you can ask any questions about VO that you like. We talk about the steps to getting into voiceover. And just as a bonus for showing up for the free webinar, I always throw in a copy of my book, The Voiceover Blueprint, which is the digital copy as well as the audiobook, plus 4 free additional gifts. So if you want to attend that webinar absolutely free, click that link down below in the description and pinned comment and sign up, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Okay, let's talk about closet studios. And there's, like I said, a lot of different ways to do studios. What we're going to talk about today is just closets. Whether it's a closet with your clothing in it, whether it's a spare closet in your house, any of these will work. Now, what I did is I had a spare closet in my office that was just full of junk. So I emptied out all of that stuff in the closet, and I went and bought some studio foam. And the studio foam that I bought is called Auralex, Auralex. And that is typically known as the kind of the gold standard in studio foam. Now, the goal to any studio, I don't care if it's in your closet or a blanket booth or a professional studio that you would buy, the goal of any studio is to do two things. The first is to keep outside noise out. The second is to keep the sound inside as dead as possible. And by dead, I mean it knocks down all of the kind of bounciness of the sound waves inside that space. The typical, slogan is the deader, the better. Now, another thing you can do is if you don't want to spend the money on studio foam, you've got another option, and that is moving blankets, or you can even buy sound dampening blankets online that are a little bit less expensive and sometimes a lot less expensive than studio foam. And what you want to do is you want to cover all of the hard surfaces in that space with something soft like the foam or the blankets. So by putting up either studio foam or moving blankets and make sure that the floor is carpeted, whether it's, already carpeted or, put a rug down, make sure that all of the hard surfaces in that area is covered or layered with some sort of soft material. All right, so that covers the inside portion, the dead or the better portion. Now let's talk about keeping outside noise out. And the first thing that I did, and this is optional, but you can do this, I replaced the door on my closet, which was just a regular hollow core door, like a normal interior door in a house. I pulled that off and I replaced it with a solid core wood door. And what that did is that kept a lot of the outside noise out. So it just made sure that, whether it was the air conditioning unit or, my kids playing at the time or whatever, they're in college now, but, making sure that all that noise, or at least as much as possible of that noise, stays outside the room. Now, another thing I did to just kind of help keep some of that extra noise out, in addition to replacing the door, is I put weather stripping around the door to make sure I got a good, solid seal when I pulled the door shut. Now, the downside to that is if you're in a closet, most closets don't have air conditioning in them, air conditioning vents. So here in Phoenix, that closet, especially in the summertime, got pretty hot. So the way I would, combat that was I would record my whatever I was recording, and then as soon as I was done recording, I would turn around and open the door and let some of that cool air back in while I did my edit. Okay, now let's go back to keeping the noise out. At the time, I was using a laptop. And so what I would do was I would keep the laptop outside the closet. So I got extension cables, HDMI cables, and ran them from the laptop, which I put on a desk outside the booth, ran it under the door to a computer monitor, and then I got a wireless keyboard and mouse so that I could keep the computer itself outside the booth, therefore no fan noise and heat generated, but I could still do all my work inside the booth. Now, as with any booth, once you have your booth created and you have everything in there treatment-wise that you're going to have, whether it's blankets or foam or whatever, it's always a good idea to run that sound by a professional engineer to make sure that your sound is dialed in for your voice, for your microphone, and for that space specifically. That way you know that every time you process your file, it's going to be consistent every single time. And remember, if it sounds good, it is good. Don't be too worried about what it looks like. As long as it sounds good, it is good. Now, I was in that closet booth for probably a decade before I even splurged on this booth that I'm in now because, after that long working in that small of a space, no windows, no ventilation, it was time to kind of level up. Now, another way to go here is if you don't have a spare closet or a walk-in closet that you can use as your booth, you can use your existing closet even if you've got clothes in it. That clothing is going to act as a natural sound dampener. So you don't necessarily have to layer a bunch of blankets or studio foam in there. Chances are, as long as the floor is carpeted, that your clothing is going to do the best job in knocking that sound down. I know people who have started in their closet like that with clothing in it and have built their business up to well over 6 figures before they even pulled the trigger on any other booth beyond that. So don't feel like you have to break the bank right at the beginning when you're starting your voiceover journey. Use what you have, whether it's a closet with clothing, an empty closet, blankets, comforters. Those kinds of things can really sound good as long as you do the right job getting the treatment set up as well as run it by an engineer so that they can kind of tweak the settings on your DAW to make sure that everything sounds as pro as possible. So the idea is to work in a closet like that, reinvest that money into your business, and then later you can do what I did, which was come out of the closet and get you a booth like the one I'm in now. So this one's got, ventilation, it's got windows, it's huge. But I didn't start here. I had to work my way up to that. Well, I hope this video has kind of helped guide you into getting started in voiceover, even if you don't have the money to spend on a fancy schmancy studio. Use what you've got and work your way up into something better later. And don't forget about that Tuesday night webinar coming up this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time, where you'll be able to ask any questions you have regarding voiceover live on the call. And you'll get a copy of my book, The Voiceover Blueprint, just for showing up for the free webinar. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks again for hanging out for a little while. I appreciate it. And if you enjoy our channel here about voiceover, feel free to drop a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. We certainly appreciate that here. And if you have any questions about voiceover, booth stuff, or anything else, feel free to drop those in the comments. I read and reply to all the comments. And I mentioned how I bought this booth after being in my own closet, and I did a whole video, a studio tour about the current booth that I'm in, and I show you the previous booth, which was the closet, as well in that same video. So if you want to check that video out, then check that out.